Hi, I'm Marty, right here. And this is my shop. This time I'm going to show you a little bit more information. Well, first of all, my name is Marty Leon, and I live in Litchfield, Minnesota, and yeah, Litchfield, Minnesota. It's about 70 miles straight west of Minneapolis and St. Paul. Little small farm town, probably about, I think we have about 7,000 people now. Anyway, yeah. And I just wanted to make a video. I'd start making a weekly video just for fun. Kind of just showing some woodworking and what I do in my shop. I was kind of inspired by Steve Ramsey. He does some woodworking videos. He does one every Friday, a new video every Friday. He started a website and Facebook page, and he does videos, woodworking for mere mortals, and they're really good. He does some really good projects, and his idea is kind of that anybody can do it. You don't have to be a professional, and you don't have to have all the best tools in the world, and you can still make some neat projects. And he has a neat sense of humor, so it's kind of fun to watch his videos. So he was kind of inspired me to, I was kind of inspired by him to make my own video. And I'm not a master carpenter or woodworker or anything like that. I'm just kind of a putz. I like to putz in the shop. And basically, I got into woodworking probably about 20 years ago. My grandpa, right here, there's Grandpa Mord, drinking coffee and wearing his suspenders there, Christmas suspenders. I actually have his Christmas suspenders now. Super guy. Anyway, that's Grandpa. And my Uncle Don. They kind of introduced me to woodworking. And I did a little bit of other woodworking when I was younger, but they kind of got me into scroll sawing. And they both did a lot of work with bandsaw and did different kinds of things, bigger items, lawn ornaments and puzzles and different cutouts and stuff. And Uncle Don, he does a lot more scroll sawing. And anyway, they kind of got me into woodworking and scroll sawing. I really enjoy it. Been doing it about 20 years, and I'm still just an amateur. I'm just learning, but it's fun. And it's kind of a fun hobby. It's really the only hobby I have. When I'm not working, I'm with my wife and kids, and but I like to put some in the shop here and there, and I like to make things out of wood. I like to make small things, and I sell something now and then, but mostly I like to give things away, and I like to share my faith in God through my woodworking too, and it's just enjoyable. It's fun. And so again, I'm not a pro, I'm an amateur, I'm still learning, and but just wanted to share what I've learned and what things I do, some of the things I make, and and it's just kind of a fun hobby that anybody can do. And scroll sawing in particular is what I'll be talking about. My videos will be about. But anyway, so again, my name is Marty. I'm from Litchfield, Minnesota. I'm 47 years old, and a wonderful wife and wonderful kids, and I'm very blessed. Lots of ups and downs in life like everybody else, but Jesus is my personal Lord and Savior, and He has been with me and blessed me, and yeah, so I am very blessed, and just want to share some of my little blessings with others. So anyway, I'll give you a little tour of my shop. I think that's kind of what this video is going to be, just a little tour of my shop, and then maybe the next one, kind of an intro to scroll sawing, and then maybe I'll make something on the scroll saw. And then each week maybe make different things and different things about scroll sawing and woodworking and stuff. So anyway, my first shop, the first time I had a shop was actually in a one-car garage. And I actually had, I'm going to zoom in over here, my little kind of antique shelf here. That's a Craftsman 18-inch scroll saw. My Uncle Don and Grandpa Mord, they gave me that scroll saw, and that's what I started on. It kind of rattles a lot, and it's an older one, but I had a lot of fun with it, and that's what I started on, just making puzzles and Christmas trees and different things to paint and for craft sales and just to give away and stuff. That's kind of what I started on. And I had that scroll saw on the floor in a one-car garage. That's kind of what I started out doing, woodworking, and then just kind of over the years, you know, just kind of took scrap wood and made workbenches and got scrap wood people gave me and bought some wood here and there and got a few tools and kind of made a shop. And we had a house in town here where we lived for 10 years. I actually had a 2-car garage shop there, and that was really nice. And I had workbenches and all kinds of stuff set up. And where we live now, I just have a 1-car garage. It's just a 1-car garage. That's the back door there going outside. Whoa, that's the front door going out to the driveway. And so you can see it's not very big. But I'm happy that I have a shop, even though it's small. And it's kind of a fun challenge to just try to make room and make a small shop work. And, you know, basically everything I make is pretty small, so I don't need a lot of room. I'd like to make bigger things someday, but right now mostly what I do is things on the scroll saw. I make Christmas ornaments and names and puzzles and little games and stuff, so I don't need a lot of room. But so that's the door going into the house. This is my little wood rack, you know, lots of little pieces of wood, you know, that I've got in different cabinet shops and wood shops that I've worked in over the years. You know, mostly everything I make is small, so little pieces of wood, you know, you can make some really nice things off of just little pieces of scrap that people throw away. Cabinet shops and different places, they kind of throw things away that are too small for them to use for anything big, are perfect for what I do. You know, and then I buy wood here and there too. I just bought a piece of poplar, and I got some oak too. But that's kind of my wood rack there. My shop apron hanging there, and hat, mirror, and my tapes hanging up there. I like to organize, and I'm constantly organizing, constantly redoing things, and making things handier. And I'm not a pro at building workbenches or building anything for that matter. I just kind of learn as I go, but it's kind of fun. And that's my Delta miter saw. Nothing fancy, but does the job. My old shop, I actually had a 14-foot long miter saw station, which works really nice to, you know, when you're cutting longer stuff. But this is what I have right now, and it's long enough for the things I do. Then I have a Craftsman router there, and I just have it set up basically just to round over things. The router is an amazing tool, though. There's lots you can do with it, and I want to learn someday how to do some different things with the router. That's my router. And I have a Delta 8-inch drill press there, and lots of little bins here of different things there. I got my router tools up there, and some hand tools, saws and stuff up there. A shelf up here. I got an empty spot for once. I did some organizing. That's all my Grandpa Mort and Uncle Don's, some of the things they made that I want to kind of repaint and kind of give to family and friends someday. Tool belts hanging up there, and then I got some power tools hanging above me. Probably not the safest thing, you know, but they're on some really heavy duty hooks. They're not going anywhere unless I bump them with my head and knock them down. But and there's the tool man himself. Well, kind of, sort of. Tim Taylor, yeah, from Home Improvement. Anyway, now I'd say Norm Abram or Steve Ramsey or one of them other guys. They're more of a woodworking master, but his show was funny. Anyway, so that's kind of that station there. You know, I got miter saw, router, and drill press. Then over here is kind of just another little work area. You know, I have my radio and some other hand tools and stuff here, and then tons of little parts and little bits of hardware. Craft supplies. We used to do lots of crafts, and we don't do a whole lot anymore, but I had tons of craft supplies, and so I organized them one day just so I have them when I'm going to do some stuff. I'd like to make more games and different things. More storage above there. I have lots of shop lights, and I think it's a good idea. I heard one day years ago to have those kind of lights and then those kind, which I think that's incandescent, and those are fluorescent, I think. To have them both, because it's safer, I guess. Sometimes when you're running a saw, the blades, you know, sometimes it can look like it's not moving if you have just fluorescent. So it's kind of nice to have both. So I usually like to have a couple different kinds of lighting. Just it makes it better. And anyway, then I have a big rack over here of just stuff. I have thousands of scroll saw patterns and woodworking patterns, and then I have books of my favorite patterns. And lots of books, woodworking books, lots of magazines. Two of my favorite magazines is Creative Woodworks and Crafts, Scroll Saw magazine, mostly scroll saw stuff, and then Scroll Saw Woodworking and Crafts. Those are my two favorite magazines. Wood Magazine, some of those others, Popular Woodworking, they're good too. But I like the Scroll Saw ones. And then I have I make a lot of my, you know, if there's something I make a lot of, I make just little wood templates out of hardboard, because then I can just trace on wood, and it's kind of nice. If there's something I don't do a lot of, I'll make a copy of the pattern and use spray adhesive and spray it on the wood and then cut it out and sand it off. But I have a lot of templates for things I make a lot of. So those are kind of my bins of those, and then just all kinds of stuff. Here's my scroll saw. I got this one, gosh, about 10 years ago now. I've had a few different scroll saws. There's actually another scroll saw up there. A friend of mine gave. I've actually never used that one. Oh, sorry, I'm on the other side of the shop here now. Just another little Value Craft 15 inch. I never used it. A friend of mine gave me that one. You know what? I'm going to go around here. Sorry. Again, this is by far a long ways from being any kind of professional video, but anyway, that there is a Moto saw. It's an antique scroll saw. It's actually a coping saw with a cord that plugs in. So it's kind of a neat deal, and that's a really big antique soldering gun, I think. I don't know. Anyway, I like finding old tools. I actually have a draw knife here that my wonderful wife Marilyn got me at a garage sale or a thrift store or somewhere. I haven't really used it yet, but someday I want to make walking sticks, or maybe shaved wood, you know, shave the bark off of wood and make some nice log furniture or something, but that'll be handy someday. Anyway, so I've had a few different scroll saws. I used to have a Delta scroll saw. That was a really nice one too. But this is my DeWalt's, what is it? A DW788. And this is, yeah, by far the nicest scroll saw I've ever had. And it's not the most expensive one out there. You know, you can spend $1,000, $1,500 for a scroll saw. Or you can just spend $200 too. Well, this is kind of mid-range. This is around $450, $500. But I really like it. I like it because it's on a stand that's kind of angled up. It's, you know, it's tipped up this way so that when you sit down, you're looking down at the wood. And so it's just kind of handy. You know, and it has a blower too. Has a nice light there, you know, and on off here, and speed control, and it's your tension. And basically this scroll saw, I think it was in the 15 or 1600s it was invented. And I think it was kind of invented by by the sewing machine. It kind of works the same way. You know, I'll go like this. And the blade kind of goes up and down, kind of like a sewing machine. I actually have a foot pedal hooked up to mine, which makes it handy, so both my hands can be on the wood, and I can turn it on and off with the foot pedal. Works kind of nice. And then my stool, you know, my little scroll saw supplies there, just different things I need. And again, that's Grandpa, and then there's me and my wonderful wife Marilyn, and some Christmas pictures and different things. And yeah. With God, all things are possible. Mark 9:23. That is true. There's me and Marilyn again. There's my kids, Danny, Hayden, and Nikki. And there's all of us. Where were we there? I think we were in Colorado. Anyway, this stuff. Anyway, that's my scroll saw, and that's a pile of stuff that's all ready to cut. I have some pocket crosses there, some hugs, Jesus words, Jesus fish, all kinds of different things. They're all ready to cut. They're traced and ready to cut. And then I have another pile over here of just things that are Schmillies, Give Thanks, this kind of new ribbon thing I made. Yeah, it's just kind of a big pile ready to fall over. But that's things that are all ready to cut. Then I do some portraits, so I have some of these stacked here, and I got some patterns I want to make there. And there's my bin, and then here's my main workbench. As most people know, you build a workbench or a table, and it kind of fills up with stuff. I always say I want to have one just cleared off so I can just put something on it and build it, and it's usually full of stuff. But anyway, yeah, that's my main workbench. I got another workbench over there. That's kind of got stuff on it, and I have some other workbenches I pull out sometime. Here's my little table saw. Nothing fancy, but it works nice, and I made a rinky-dink table the other day for it, but yeah, so it's nice. A table saw is one of the best things to have. It really is. You can do a lot with a table saw. So anyway, just got some different things, boxes here, the things I'm working on. That's actually a tongue drum. I'm trying to make different instruments out of wood. I think that's kind of fun. This is a pile of wood. It's actually a kind of a brain teaser thing. I think somebody's here. I might have to pause the video if somebody's here busy. But anyway, well, I'll do that another day. But it's kind of a brain teaser puzzle, and that's all the parts for it. And there's my coffee mug. Put coffee in there. Oh yeah, my Nicaragua coffee. And here are just a few things that I make. Again, I make small stuff, nothing big, nothing fancy. Just some pocket crosses here. A little word hug. I make lots of Christmas ornaments. I love making Christmas ornaments. Paths, that's actually Spanish for joy. There's joy. And then here's my Jesus words. I love to make those. It's one of my favorite things to make. I can actually make one of these in about 5 minutes, from tracing it to cutting it out to sanding it, staining it. And I've given hundreds away. It's just kind of fun. A little way to share my faith, and just, yeah, so I like to make those. And I like to make like cutting boards and plaques and puzzles. That's actually the country of Nicaragua. Here's those little marble games. I like to make these. This is actually tic-tac-toe. Yeah, I should have them different colors, but anyway, that's kind of just to show you. Farmer, gardener, baseball, EMT. There's a loon. That's a kind of a memorial ribbon. It's actually a picture frame. So, yeah. Just some of the things I make. You know, I make a lot of other things, but that's really only, I just laid these out kind of to show you some of the things that I make. So yeah, it's kind of a fun thing. It's just, I like to scroll, so I like to make little things out of wood. You know, I'm always learning more, and I'd like to do bigger things. I'd like to learn how to do more instruments out of wood. And you know, a big pile of other things over there too. It's kind of a modge-podge pile of things I make, and yeah, different things. But yeah, and I like to make. If I can ever figure out how to make a good box, I'd like to learn to make some trinket boxes, a little treasure keepsake boxes. But I make a lot of names, a lot of puzzles. Yeah. So that's kind of my shop, kind of what I do here and there when I have a little time. I work on my scroll saw and make gifts out of wood, and it's really pretty easy. I mean, there's lots of patterns. You can make up your own patterns. If you can draw it on wood, you can cut it on a scroll saw. And I like to teach my kids to do it, and neighbor kids, and just, it is actually a good, safe saw, the scroll saw, to teach kids and to teach adults, anybody. It's really fun, and it's relaxing and kind of an enjoyable hobby. You don't need a big space. It doesn't make a lot of dust, and you can use little pieces of wood to make things. So yeah, it's kind of fun. And I'm starting to ramble here, so I think I'm going to end for today. But that's Marty's little scroll saw woodworking shop. Yeah, so I pray you all have a wonderful day, and maybe next time we'll actually make something. We'll see. So, again, this is Marty, and this is my shop, and have a nice day.